A stands for aeroplane, his is the eye that camouflage tries to defeat, this is why. B is for bomber, he's coming so fast, if he can't see you quickly, why damn it, he's past. C is for camera, try to confuse, the enemy's reading of aerial views. These words came from a poem that I found in the papers of my great-grandfather Joseph Gray. All the time growing up, Joseph Gray was the only artist I'd ever heard of. To me, he was famous, and I never really understood why he wasn't famous to everyone else. And I think that was always part of the puzzle. He was an official war artist in the First World War, and in the Second World War, he was a camouflage artist. After Armistice, it was a period of Great Depression. He couldn't get any work, and the less art he was able to do, the more he worried about the world. And so from that, his interest in camouflage kind of spiraled and grew and became a manuscript for a book. Within a very short amount of time, Joe was back in uniform, but this time he was officially a camouflage artist. And so having spent one war representing reality, he was now disguising it. His secret work for the War Office enabled him to have an affair with another woman and leave my great-grandmother and her child. Then there was this love affair conducted against the backdrop of the Blitz, which was another layer to the camouflage. The letters are amazing, and I was blown away by them because they were not only incredibly personal, outpouring about how much he loved her, but also about his chaotic life in London in the Blitz, full of also little sketches that he had seen along his nightly walks. There were lots of reasons why I wanted to write Joe's story, but one of the main ones is also that he is the reason that I studied art history. I was brought up in a house that I had his pictures all around. All the paintings that he painted after the war, but he refused to sell any of them. He'd refused to have any of them put in exhibitions. He refused every commission. There was a room full of his work. It slightly haunts me because they should be out in the world. The Second World War, after that, he definitely lost confidence in himself as an artist. He'd spent so long disguising reality. I think he struggled very much with finding a way of representing it again in his paintings. I feel like he kind of gave up on his story, so I want to pick it up again. His book on camouflage was never published. I think he doubted his audience and wanted to stay hidden. I want to turn that on its head. I no longer want him to be the most famous war artist you've never heard of.